three-way shaft, normally there is a divot for you to put a divot for you to put the set screw in. So that's what we're doing here, is we've lined up the divot for our set screw with the hole for our set screw. We're going to go ahead and install our set screw. Put that in. These are not the correct length at all. Just a mock-up build, and here you can see why it is important to have the correct length. Let's see if we can get a decent... That set screw is hitting the front block. So you do need to have the correct length. This one we're just mocking up, and I didn't happen to have the right ones on hand. Not a big deal. So now we're going to do the detent. One, always make sure your detent actually works, that it's not frozen up. If it's not reacting, then it's not doing anything. I also, at the base of my detents, will put a number 10 O-ring to space them off. This is just here to hold the ball and prevent double feeding before that bolt comes back, before it comes forward. So normally these don't need to be threaded in flush, and it will actually increase the amount of resistance that your bolt has to overcome in order to get past the detent, and you can feel it in the cycle. So I'll put a number 10 O-ring on them, throw them in here, give it a decent squeeze, and I know that paint is tiny right now, but I've only seen one ball at 675 and I haven't seen anything under just yet, so I'll use a Reball. I keep one on hand to kind of gauge. Reballs are typically boring out at 675, so what we're going to do is drop the Reball down in there and dropped right through. So I know that my detent needs to come further in. Run that in. Still needs to go further in. And essentially you're just making your adjustments to where you still hold the ball, but you lessen the amount of resistance that the bolt has to overcome when it's cycling. So it can lead to a smoother feeling cycle. So now I know that my Reball will fit through just fine without being too loose. So we have all of this stuff here. We're going to take our LPR. Now, this is another debatable topic. A lot of people don't like Teflon tape. A lot of people prefer to use a Loctite, usually blue, just as a thread sealant. Personally, I use Teflon. But biggest thing here is there is a correct and incorrect way to wrap Teflon. Number one, you do not need 16 wraps of Teflon to seal something. If you do, something is wrong. So in this case, for a clean install, what we're going to do is basically wrap the back, or the forward half of this fitting, because that's probably not even all of that it's going to go in. As you can see, we're overlapping the tip quite a bit. So we're going to tear that off. And then this is where a lot of people usually screw up. See all this stuff that's on the face of the fitting, or can access the face of the fitting? What you're asking for there is for some of this high pressure air to be coming in or going out or whatever the hell, and to grab a hold of that and flush it through the rest of your system and your gun. Now there's a lot of companies, especially back in the day, I know there's a few of them now that, you know, say if they opened up your solenoid on something and it's just absolutely flushed full of Teflon, they're not going to warranty the solenoid because you didn't know what the hell you were doing. So usually what I'll do, you see how there's a bit of a taper. This is a pipe fitting, which means it's a tapered fitting. So this is 1/8 inch NPT, which is National Pipe Thread. So this is an actual tapered thread. So if you get to the start of that taper and just roll the tape back, roll that Teflon back, you should be perfectly safe to use this now without having a chance of it flushing through your gun. So we install it on our front block. We're not going to torque it down. We're just going to make it pretty for right now. So now our front block's all together. We're going to pretend like I rebuilt this rig for right now. Throw this in here. I'm probably going to use this nice little WGP frame I had laying around. A little bit more chrome, a little bit more hot rod. So kind of pivot your timing rod out, slip the timing rod into the reciprocating hole on the trigger plate, pivot that in. Now we're going to take our bolts. Like I was saying earlier, you can kind of get them started with your finger, and then take that 3 mil and spin them down. We're just going to kind of throw them in here for right now because it feels like that back thread needs to be chased. Like I said, go in with all this. So, for the most part, that's how you put together a cocker. Obviously, we need to add an ASA and macro, and we need to make our timing adjustments. We need to plummet, stuff like that. But as far as putting one together, there you go. That's pretty much what I do. You know, I'll probably slap a chrome reg on this and actually go ahead and build it. And I don't know, it could be fun. I do like building a little bit of hot rods out of just kind of some sleepers. I find it pretty fun. So let's see what else we've got. Alright, so that's pretty much it as far as putting together an autococker. Sorry it took so long. I know it's a long video. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to upload this all in one piece, so we may have to do 2 parts here. Long story short, not really, long story long, that's how you put one together. I'll probably go ahead and make a timing video as well if you guys are interested. If there's anything you'd like me to cover a little bit more in detail, or anything that I didn't explain very well, or you know, just I'm always looking for more ideas to put together videos for you guys. Oh, and most importantly, one of the tools that I forgot, Tech Lube. Tonight we have rum going on. So, guys, it's really early, or really late, whichever way you want to look at it. So thank you guys for sticking around if you stuck around this far of the video. Sorry it took so long. There's a general overview of how to put together an autococker, or how I put together an autococker. Hopefully I will have this thing together and sing in here in, I don't know, a couple days, something like that, when I get the time. And then we'll go on from there. We'll build something else. So thank you guys. See you next time.